Say your house is haunted. Like, I'll go to your house and not believe in whatever that bullshit is until it goes away. Try getting AI. Believe anything you fucking tell it if you can sit there and argue with it long enough. I want to see how long it takes me to drive Claude insane.
Is that the Anthropic one?
I don't fucking know. Who cares? I don't give a shit. I watched the shit out of fucking Larry Latour. He was the last bastion because he was the motherfucking king of his castle. He didn't make shit. And somehow he had a nice old fucking house. He was fucking catching all kinds of flack, dude, no matter what he did. That's where they started slipping some shit. Big Pops kind of looked like a fucking silly goose. Here the fuck we are. The family's in shambles. And that Soulja Boy dropped that fucking album. And it was a rap. Big G totally came through. How are you going to drop a bar called Superman, man? Like, look what you did to Superman. Look what you did to my boy. And wrap it back around to fucking Zionism.
I was like, how?
Superman was created by two Jewish men.
Welcome back to the Bitcoin Nova. Today we have Killer B here with me, the host of Crime Watch on X. It'll be a good conversation today so we could talk about the crimes and everything we're seeing going on in the world. It's a crazy time right now. Whatever's going on with Iran and the lies, the distractions, the hard to make sense of things these days. People are not sure why any of this is happening. What's the real reason? I like that I'm seeing a lot of people wake up to the truth of things and not trusting everything you're told. So we're going to discuss Iran and Israel and Trump and about just everything going on that's crazy right now. And just kind of how that makes us feel. And yeah, so we have Killer B here from Crime Watch. So welcome to the show again.
Hey, happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited for I guess it's a recorded round two. It's not really a round two for us. We talk a lot. I'm grateful for that because I mean you make so much time for so many people, you know, and I consider a lot of them extremely relevant to a lot of not just not just the sort of niche down Bitcoin topic, but just like the world stage. And like, I'm just some guy who joined the community.
But you're an awesome guy. You have a great voice. You have a great perspective. You're a friend, you know, but I also value your opinion. You speak the truth and we need truth, especially being the leader of Crime Watch. Your spaces are great. I'm so happy to have you back here. And I'm happy that you're also on Live with the Hive with me.
Yeah, I get so much airtime these days, right? And I'm grateful for all of it. I mean, I just have so much fun. And that's really for me, that's what I do it for. You know, my like even the Crime Watch thing, like I'm not I'm not an investigator or a journalist or a private detective at the moment. You know, like my whole fiat like slavery existence is not even remotely tied to what I do here. Like when I come here, it is like the opposite of like what I'm forced to do, you know, at the behest, at the submission of my own will and all that. Like this is just for me. Like I have fun here. And the minute it doesn't feel fun, like I'm out, you know, I'm not going to argue with pixels on a screen, you know what I mean, about what they think and how they feel about stuff. And I don't really particularly care how they think or feel about what I think or feel, you know what I mean? So I guess I kind of have that advantage, right? It's my one superpower is I don't care who anybody is at all unless they mean something to me personally, right? Like, you know, but at the same point, like I'm not going to go after somebody unless I really feel that they're up to something egregious and I feel like it needs to be said, you know, and it gets me blocked often, which is honestly okay by me, right? I mean, it's not, you know, I don't even really make a big deal out of it, uh, except for the lop thing. You know, I don't have it, like I didn't start it, but like I'm in a
Blocks
community.
my love.
Yeah, I'm in a community just because I got blocked by somebody and, you know, I just, you know, I do a lot of introspection when I post there. It's not often, but sometimes I just check on the folks
That's
to see how they're
funny.
doing, how they're coping with everything.
I love how you created the, what was it, the 87K gang?
Here's the thing. Whichever way we go, we get there through 87K. Like it's the best stop on the unstoppable train,
Yep.
right? And it's because It's I don't know, dude. It just doesn't mean a thing. It's
Yeah.
numbers. It's numbers on a screen. Sometimes they're red and sometimes they're green. That rhymes. And like, and that's how ridiculous it is. It's yay, it's up. Yay, it's down. Like I mean, advantage wise, right? In the realistic world, like the advantage is having more. So when it's down, you acquire more. It's a simple math that doesn't work out in the markets because people are doing a lot of shit in the markets. And people are even doing a lot of shit with Bitcoin, right? And they're doing things that make it go up and they're doing things that make it go down. Like I don't want to get all into it. Like you know who you are, you know who you aren't. If it doesn't apply, let it fly.
I like that.
But there are folks who are, doing things that are good for Bitcoin, and there's folks that are doing things that are not good for Bitcoin. And you have to pay attention to who is who, and you have to really look whether somebody's um whether somebody's making sense or whether somebody's trying to convince you of something. If you ask a question and they don't answer the question, or they go, "Oh, I've answered this question," but they really have not answered this question. And then when you ask for a clarification or examples or proof, because we don't really, because trust is bullshit, right? So show the proof. And you know what I mean? And they come up with confusing shit. They say you don't understand it. You got to go do your own research. I'm doing like the homework that I do is homework I assign myself. Nobody else is assigning me homework.
You
And
gotta do your own research.
yeah, exactly. When the conversation shifts, that's usually how you know you're not dealing with an honest, person. You're not having an honest conversation. So it's a pointless conversation to have. Like it's if you have legitimate questions as to why somebody is doing something or why somebody is saying something or why somebody thinks something or why somebody's position is what it is and they can't explain it, or rather they misconstrue words or they misrepresent arguments, or they dig up just like already debunked arguments and try and submit them as fact, thinking that you like are unaware of that shit.
Mm.
It's like it's exhausting. Like you're not dealing with an honest person. So, like, unless your life somehow depends on this conversation, or unless you're spreading awareness so that other people understand actual positions and actual arguments and actual reasonings, like, you know what I mean? It's a fool's errand.
Yeah, and people think we're stupid, and we're not stupid.
Like when you say how I speak truth, I'm very careful about the truth that I speak. My truth is useless to you, just as your truth is useless to me. I can tell you how crystals form, but until you understand it yourself and try and explain it to somebody else, what I know doesn't serve you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's why we say study Bitcoin. It's
Yeah.
why we say that's why we say shut the fuck up and buy Bitcoin.
Yes. I mean, especially now, thinking about how much people need Bitcoin now with all this craziness, you can't trust. Number one is like I just saw Tucker Carlson share a video about the biggest scam is the gold market.
Like you have to understand, like wow, like 2016 Killer Bee wasn't even Killer Bee at the time, but 2016 Killer Bee would never have imagined himself as like looking at Carlson and saying, "Go, bro, yeah, let
I
him cook,
know,
let him cook."
right?
This, wow, like this is where I am.
Yeah. I
You know,
never thought so either. I was not a Tucker fan, but now he's calling out the gold scam. Hell
right?
yeah, you know?
He does have a flair for populism, right? And I think he's seeing a certain demographic that's marketable and deployable, right? And I think that's where he's going.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him. He failed the first round of the whole Bitcoin thing, right? Because he was talking to some guy and some guy said some shit and he bought it and he's like, oh, wow, that's very interesting, like how Tucker does. But anyway, right. So long story short, like he's getting things. I don't know that he gets all of it. I think, also you have to kind of really take a step back and say like, oh, this person that I'm paying attention to now that I used to dislike and now I like this could just be fucking kayfabe. This could just be like Hollywood Hogan shit, and now Hollywood Hogan's fucking okay again. You know what I mean?
But I feel like when people speak their mind these days against the people they're speaking their mind about, not just the gold market being a scam, but him talking about, the whole like Netanyahu thing and what's his real intention for going to war and sucking us into that whole thing. But like, you are kind of screwing, like they call it the Epstein class, being behind a lot of the shit that's going on and a lot of the cover ups that are going on. And when you're calling people like that out, it's brave because people have been silenced, in a
Well,
permanent way, you
so
know?
look, there's a significant difference, right? And folks in a different class, like not to say they don't have feelings or anything, right? They obviously think things about shit, and they obviously have camaraderie amongst each other, however twisted it may be. But like, there's a difference. They brush off. They can take critique. They can take made up shit, rumors. Oh, this one fucking hosts these orgies or whatever. And this one does this and that. It's kind of like whispers and shit. And that's one thing, right? They can just brush that off. They're in high society. They're above all. Let them eat cake, right? Let them have their whispers. Let them say their shit. But now when they come across something that they do, it's not like, oh, fucking unpaid parking tickets and like shit like that, or like, dodging whatever the fuck and, walking away with, we're fine. Right. But it turns out they're doing like egregious shit. And I'm sorry, not to be rude, but like take religion just out for a second, just to look at it. Like, there's just some things that are just fundamentally wrong. Like, if you kill all the people, then there are no people, and then there's no anything. It's just rocks and plants and birds and whatever the fuck. Like, if everybody's gone, like, that's it. It's just empty space, right? No human life. So doing that would be considered bad for people, right? Like, I mean, it's just bare fucking bone shit. If there's people out there who are doing really awful shit, like committing fucking genocides, disappearing folks, fucking,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to take too far of a leap, and you don't need your hand held by a guru or one or the other to look at that and be like, oh, that's pretty bad. Add on to that, you would think that people who would not find that bad, unfathomable, right?
Yeah.
Like, it just makes no sense. But those people exist among high society, apparently. And like, the whispers and shit don't bother them. But then now when you start saying shit that might fucking bring actual bad shit to light, perhaps shit that like maybe if a bunch of people really knew that they were doing it would say, hey, that fucking has to stop, like, absolutely right now. And you know what I mean?
Right? It kind of reminds me of when they say something like, "If I'm going down, you're all going down with me." I think Netanyahu said that, or who said that one? Somebody said that
That was
recently.
a Hillary Clinton quote, I believe, from like
He
20
said that?
something. It wasn't a recent quote.
I thought I heard something recently, but I just think that that's the idea I think that they have,
He
even if
said it
they
too,
haven't
didn't he?
said it.
Wasn't it fucking Puffy? Didn't he say that too?
I
I
would
mean,
think so.
he said a lot of shit.
I even wonder sometimes, I mean, how much of the Epstein class is connected to the Diddy class and how much of that we didn't see come out because they were first waiting to, open up this Epstein stuff. How secure is your Bitcoin? If you're not fully confident in your self custody, take the quiz at thebitcoinway.com/BitcoinNova and learn how to truly own your Bitcoin and protect your privacy.
You know what it is? I don't have time to do the Charlie Day board with the lions and the fuck. You know what I mean?
But
And
I think that mentality of, if I'm going down, you're going down with me. So it's like the idea of Netanyahu or Trump or whoever's involved in this stuff that's all over the files, especially Trump's name was everywhere. But instead of just, trying to get us to forget about it and say there were no files. Plus, when you think of that video back in the day, he was talking about Obama saying he is a weak president. He's going to go to war with Iran because
right,
he doesn't know how to negotiate. So watch him start a war with Iran. And then he's doing the same
this
exact
is the
thing.
shit that they just mull over. They're like, oh yeah, never mind all that. Like, there's a tweet from Stephen Miller that just got resuscitated. I think from 2014 or something. And it was like, oh, if you elect so and so, I forget, Biden, I guess, or something like that, get ready to fucking send your kids to die in a war, against Iran or some shit like that. It's basically the same fucking thing. And it's like, oh, here you go. It's a retweet, eat your own words. And like, you really think he gives a shit? You really think like, oh, the hypocrite that I am. Oh, they got me. Like you threw water on the witch, and now he's fucking melting or something. Like, I mean, not that like it shouldn't be called out, but it just gets overhyped to like, oh, dude, look at this sick burn, bro. He got him. He really like he retweeted the tweet. Like, oh, bro, is this you, bro? And what is that doing? What are we getting? That social justice. That's what it amounts to these days. It's a little disheartening when I think of like what actually needs to get done to make sure that like maybe these little sick burns aren't about such awful fucking things because in the meantime like there's people burning alive and
Mhm.
it's really fucked and being blown the fuck apart, you know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah, the apocalyptic scene out there right now is unreal, and that school with the children, that was the beginning, and just even hearing the bullshit about, "Oh, it's gonna be we're just gonna go in there, we're gonna take out the Ayatollah." We did it, and I remember that first day being at the salon and hearing a bunch of people who love the administration celebrating that they got the Ayatollah, "Yay, this is a great day for the country," and, everyone was so happy, and I'm like, okay, you guys like, he celebrates it like he did something, so everything he does is the best it's ever been, the best that anyone's ever done it. No one's ever seen anything like it, it's a miracle. So, he celebrated it like it was, like, this crazy accomplishment, then a
mm,
child full of kids gets bombed, all these people get unalived. Then they're asking Trump how long we'll be at war for, and it goes from it might be a couple weeks, might be a couple months, maybe it'll never end. Maybe it'll be 20 years, And then when they ask about boots on the ground, it'd be nice if an American president would say, "No, we're not looking to put troops on the ground," like being a leader. But instead he's like, "You never know. We'll do it if we have to, but I'm not saying we are." Everything is just, to put the narrative out there that we could do it, so you better surrender to us fully because that's what we're asking. I don't understand.
so it's I mean you're exactly right that it's all everything right now is just this display. These apocalyptic scenes, right? They're intermittent. It's not an ongoing thing, right? It's just like random. And if you happen to live where we live, like you get a couple of clues here and there of like when the show times are. So
Mhm.
you get to see all the fucking, chaos, right? And depending on what side you're on, because you have to be on one side or the other. That's how the powers that be kind of guide this whole narrative, right? So it's fucking you're in heart, it's the Hindenburg, you know what I mean? It's the the humanity. And it's just tragic and fucking awful. And then on the other side is like, America, fuck yeah, right? And we're saving Iran one explosion at a time, right? And that's the whole scene going on right now. So who's putting on the show, right? Well, obviously we get to watch it. And like I remember my state's fucking morning matinee around 7 a.m. Right. And I'll never forget it. And every time it's brought up, there's a part of me that goes back there. So I can understand the greed of it. I can understand the opportunistic points of it. It's the sadism. It's the joy. Those are the things that I can't like I get it from a perspective thing because like I try and like even when in writing, you have to imagine perspectives of things that you're not to be able to create characters that have depth. So, you know what I mean? Like I can't get that past a point of a character. Like
Mhm.
that to be a real
It doesn't feel real.
person is just yeah.
Especially when you have something that I think is insane is Trump was getting or going to get the Nobel Peace Prize, and then this?
Wasn't there like a peace force or some shit now? And like and Israel joined it and dude, and it caught so much flack, dude. Like the comment section was a fucking was a riot, right? It's sad to say, like that's the best that it gets is that we can all kind of collectively comment on stuff and
Mhm.
give people who are listening a taste of like what they're doing and like how people are like, this is all bullshit. And everybody knows it's bullshit. Like, I don't know, like, reset the matrix to like 96, you know? And take us back to like '89, dude. I'm good. Like if you like reset all of this bullshit because it's whack. Like everything with like, dude. I think George had it right. I think ever since fucking Soulja Boy dropped that album,
You're right.
it's been a fucking mess.
It has. He ruined the world, this guy. Shit, I don't know what I pressed. I wanted to just share my actual
Trump
pregame.
votes.
This is my today's news right now. It's saying that Trump claims the world respects US more.
I want to take these. I'm going to take these in reverse order. I'm sorry, just because I was like, it was the closest one to my eyes, so I read from the bottom, and I'm going to go.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just
I
going to
mean,
do.
either way,
Just let me do a quick commentary on each
thank
headline.
you. That's what I was hoping you would do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in. Maybe this will fucking light the fucking light the fires again. I don't know. Give me my wings back, bro. Trump boasts to House Republicans, no other president could do what I'm doing. I call bullshit. I call Manchurian candidate bullshit. No, fucking like, all right, we haven't. Okay, the last president that would not be capable of what Trump is doing right now, Carter. That was the last time we had a president that wouldn't do. Um, I think maybe before that, didn't we? I think we shot the we shot the last one. Carter lives. Yeah, no, he's not still alive. Is Carter still alive? I don't even fucking know. Shows how
I don't
much.
know either. I just know that they like even just thinking about it saying no other president could do.
But at least he boasts to only the House Republicans, I guess. Like, was he in a room with just the House Republicans?
Yeah, just
Okay.
his little group of buddies that haven't turned on him yet.
Well,
He boasts 2 House Republicans instead of it's not like they're telling him this. He's telling his little crew of
yeah,
whoever's still
but
left
that's
with
his
him.
job. That's what he does. You know, like I mean, that's his whole shit. I
You know what's weird ab
don't want to. I don't want to linger. There's plenty more. Old Israeli bill clip. Old Israeli bill clip resurfaces with false Christianity ban claims. I got to table that one. I'll move to the next Trump.
Yeah.
Trump claims world respects U.S. more amid Iran strikes. I okay, I mean, okay, so that's accurate because it's a claim. I mean, he's made the claim, right? Um, the world respects the United States more. I
The
mean,
world.
if by respect you mean fear, I feel that would be more accurate.
Mhm.
Fear would be the.
I mean, the word claim and boast. That sounds like everything he says. He boasts and he claims.
I'm telling you, that's his job. Outside of the things that he's, I guess, ordained to do by whoever's whoever's pulling these strings.
The thing that scares me is the people that in my life that believe everything he says, all the boasting he does, all the claims he makes.
Yeah.
The people in my life that believe those things are the same people that ask me how to use their iPhone and help them with things or
Okay.
ask me which things, oh my gosh, what do I do about this text message? And I say it's a scam.
Right. I mean, look,
So it's like you're believing
you,
those things.
look here's the. I know it's difficult, but there's no escaping this. It is everywhere. It just is because there's folks who get their information from where they get their information, and to a degree, fits confirmation bias, and because of that, and the confirmation and the confirmation bias is a low bar to the point where like the cost of living can just be manipulated over and over and over again and promised to be brought down and never like they can just continue to run the gamut. It's just it's bread and circuses,
Yeah.
and it's always going to be, and it's always going to work until it doesn't. And it would be great if we had a pair of those glasses from They Live that we could just hand out to everybody on just a and just scale that to like planetary, like 100% achievement, and just the world completely wakes up. But all the work is still beyond. You have to look at it this way. You're not going to mobilize the people who are comfortable, right? You're not going to mobilize the people who are having it rough, but are just kind of pushing through, whether it's pride or whether it's, firm belief that, that hard work leads to success, whatever the American dream still amounts to these days. Like anybody who's going to get there is going to have to get there on their own. And, the more you argue with crazy, it's like staring into the abyss. And it's just going to end up staring back, and it's going to weird you out, creep you out, make you feel the feels. And these are the moments where you really have to say fuck 'em. You really have to reclaim your peace, because it's honestly, nobody's trying to take it. Like the day to day folks are not really trying to challenge your peace. It's just that they don't want their peace challenged either.
Yeah, they'd rather stay comfortable.
So if they have it, if they can get to it, if believing what they believe gives them enough comfort to get them there, they're very less inclined to have that shaken up with.
When COVID happened, though, a lot of people found Bitcoin through the pain of COVID and through the
Right.
manipulation of stimulus checks and money. So I think a lot of this chaos in the world, the gas prices, people are going to be, the jobs market report came out recently and it was down, not good news for the jobs market. So all these things that are happening now with the war and now the oil prices, like the market is tanking, right? So I think that's going to bring people to ask more questions and find out truth and start to look outside of what they're being told.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hope.
Yeah, but remember when, the clip of Pam Bondi yelling, the Dow is what we should be focusing
The
on,
Dow, check the Dow. Well, okay, but so when was the last time you heard from her? When was the last time she uttered a word?
I don't know. I feel like there's so much happening constantly.
So this is what I mean. What happened to old girl's kidnapped mama? What
I don't
happened
know.
to what's her face? She's gone with the wind. And then what about the aliens? And what about Bob? It's fucking ridiculous.
Every day there's some big thing. Like,
It's a three-ring circus, and you're just funneled in from one fucking tent to the next, and come and see the fucking dancing clown, and then now we're gonna go see this, and then that's it. And you can buy the ticket, and you can drive yourself crazy getting mad at the fucking show, or you can stay the fuck away from the circus. I
it's
mean,
like the American Horror Story circus,
sure. I
right?
mean, if you like, I mean, yeah,
Because it's like a bunch of sick shit
yeah,
circus.
it gets worse and worse. I mean, didn't they like try and humanize like the crazy killing people or whatever? I don't know. I don't really remember much of it.
Barely remember. I think that was one of the last seasons I watched. I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I'm covering my eyes half of the episode.
Like I try and like I'm even weary about like when I give myself a rest, and I do indulge in media of a kind, right? Like an old movie or a series or something, right? I'm even more reluctant now to approach everything with caution. Like, what's coded in this, when they're trying to humanize like a villain of a kind or something. They're like trying to, I mean, not so much an anti-hero or whatever, but like, they take like the antagonist, and they give him a whole like backstory, humanize the character.
Right.
It's one thing if like they're doing things that maybe are questionably, outlawish as opposed to like egregious, you know what I mean? But like when you're talking like pure sinister fucking
No, you're right though, because
alien evil or some shit, like you don't go give me this bullshit.
secure your seed phrase with microseed. Discreet, durable, the ultimate security. Use code XSTACY for 5% off your order. Like when you see the Grammy Awards and all the music lately, I'm like, am I getting old? Everything's so sinister looking. But at the same time,
So, and this is the funny thing, like, and I don't know if this was by design, right? Because I think of my like, my younger years, right? my sort of teenage rebellion-ish years, right? Like in the 90s. Um, that shit was all the rage, right? You know, your Marilyn Mansons and your fucking Hot Topics and your Corns and your fucking,
Yeah.
all that shit, all the dark stuff, right? It's like, the creepier you were, it's like Halloween, right? You put on the mask so you can scare away the fucking demons and the ghouls, and maybe they won't fucking, they won't bother you and do all the creepy shit. If you got a bunch of spikes, on your hands, like you're less inclined to
But it
fucking.
was almost like it was creepy, but there was, like, a level of
There was a utility to.
artistry because the music was better.
Well, I
I don't
mean,
know.
I don't know. It's like a perspective thing, right? Like,
I guess.
every generation is going to think that the music that,
Yeah. I know.
you know, because it's you feel, even though it's really not the case, like you feel as though it's the music that you choose for yourself.
Yeah, it's a perspective thing, but just seeing sometimes some of the performances, like, I get it, you're right. It's good to put that into perspective that there was a lot of creepy stuff back then too, but sometimes it's like, I don't know, it's like so much more,
It was a different thing because I feel like it was more festive, and I think now it's more ritualistic.
right?
Like in my day, we all like it's not so much that like I wouldn't say that we knew that the whole devil thing, like demons and all, like it was all just bullshit, right? I think that's what we thought, and over time it's like I really believe that it's not as magical and mystical as we all fucking think. Like I really do believe that the whole like demonic, all that shit is a very human characteristic. And it's a very dark, dark, twisted fucking off the fucking deep end, the worst of our kind, the worst we can be, like the opposite fucking end of the curve. And it's a part of us as humans. Now, if does this come from sort of a divine creation aspect? Or, is there an actual biblical fucking Lucifer, morning star, or any of that stuff? Like, I I'm gonna flat out say I don't know, and neither does anybody else. And that's just it, because there's a whole like, you go to a whole other side of the world, and there's a whole another book that says a whole other thing. Like, you can take Christianity itself, and there's branches of it. There's different Bibles, there's different versions, there's things left out, there's things put back in. There's people who say that this fucking version is bullshit. There's people who say you're a complete heretic for believing this, that, and the
I
third.
mean, even if it's like,
Against us. That's all the fuck it is. That's all the fuck it's ever been. That's all the fuck it's ever going to be. World without fuck and amen.
yeah, but we thought all this shit that we heard, all these demonic acts on children and, even
Yeah, but you have to understand, this is shit that's handed down by oral tradition. All of these things date back to old practices from way, 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 way back. Old fucking civilizations that practiced old fucking things. And they called it magic, and maybe there's some aspects to it that work. Like there's chemicals that can fucking react, that can make all kinds of fucking magic happen within a fucking brain. There's all such things as fucking mass delusions. There's such things as mass hallucinations. So I'm not saying that these things are not real. I'm not saying that there is no divine. I just cannot claim to know that. And I think it's hubris to it's not so much belief, it's really belief versus lording belief over others. Like, if you believe it for yourself, I think that's fantastic. Like I said, if it gets you through a day, if it gets you to your peace, it is worth it and it's beautiful. But if it infringes on the peace of others, I'm more inclined to have a problem with that. And I think anybody else, honestly, would be better off if they would consider that perspective also, because the more you let others infringe on your rights, the more the more the concept of rights.
so are you saying you don't think with the recent news, like with the Epstein, like child trafficking, like,
Do I think the devil's behind it? Or, I mean,
do you
what
think it's just evil in nature, or do you think that what is the
absolutely. I think it's absolute sinister, evil. I mean, like I said, it represents the worst of the worst. It's literally the worst things that you can do as human beings. Folks are out there practicing. and considering and having conversations with other people about those things.
But you're saying it came from somewhere, like, the ideas and the sorcery type shit came from somewhere?
I mean, it came from the past. Old demons were once gods of other fucking civilizations. They've all like the Sumerian, fucking Babylonian, Assyrian, all the gods and things that they worshipped and believed, the Egyptian gods and all those things. All that stuff, like that, all that stuff was basically ordained as heresy when other religions took over. And there are some folks who, kept those documents or whatever, and like some practices and things like that. And
So those old practices, like, you have this angel/demon slash demon side of people, humanity, and then the practices that the demonic side of humans and the old, people that were actually considered demonic or practicing these types of whatever's, rituals or different sacrifices and stuff. But so then over time they evolve into the modern day, split that we have with these people. But it's crazy to think that they just end up rising up, right? Like it's like the evil side of humanity has gained control and they've infiltrated so much of our government and people in power,
and this,
corporations.
and this is how you do it. You do it by framing narratives, right? This is how you take control. If you're a person of good standing with a certain amount of power and influence, right? You're either accosted by folks that are higher up, you're shown into like what they're about, right? Or you're or you're given a handler or something, right? If you're, a potential great influence, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm growing. I know this is like not the type of, comment that maybe a lot of people would agree with, but being honest, I'm growing more and more convinced every day that either Trump or Netanyahu is like the Antichrist or something.
what if it's not just one? Like, what if the Antichrist is like a class? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Could be, yeah. I could
ultimate
I
warrior.
that's in my wheelhouse of ideas,
I
yeah.
mean, you have to look at it as like what I don't know. I try not to put label on things. I just try and look at like the facts. What evil are they capable of? Like calling them a name. Like if I find out somehow that this dude is the Antichrist, I'm not going to magically become the dude who, somehow like I get the Archangel Michael's sword and I'm gonna go and do battle with the guy or something and like I'm gonna save the day. Like what I mean, it doesn't me knowing something or figuring something out is not gonna
But knowing if there were such a human walking this earth that was
I
that
would just go on the assumption that yes, there is.
yeah.
And leave it at that. That way you don't have to spend all of your time wondering or worrying or like just assume that yep, he's out there and he's doing all the evil
Like,
shit.
even I think Erica Kirk could be one of the
What
antichrists.
if what if they are and they aren't? And it's just an intermittent thing and the Antichrist just works through people at certain times whenever the entity sees fit. Like I need to go and do this evil thing. I'm gonna weaponize this human and possess that. So really what we're talking about here is those who have capability in their hearts to do those evil things, because those are the people that can be weaponized by evil a spirit running around and hopping from body to body, or whether it's people whispering into other people's ears and directing from some other place, from some crazy fucking aircraft that we just looked at yesterday, doing some flyby commanding,
The doomsday.
yeah, the doomsday plane. Jesus, it's like they got their little fucking tentacles and roots in all the places.
Mhm. Yeah, it's the Demogorgon hive of
It's like
evil.
and we're fucking literally fucking married to the upside down now. It's like we're not in the upside down, but like we like just go in and out, just whatever.
This is insane. The influence and the power, it's like enticing. Our hive is a good hive, the Bitcoin hive is
No, not like our hive, not like our cool.
the Bitcoin hive is an escape from the upside down, right?
All the cool, yeah. Look at all the cool fucking items stacked in the hive. Like look at the bee over there.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
the Satoshi fucking
Mhm. It's like, "You're not participating in your shit. We're gonna use our own financial system." But, it's like they entice each other. Everyone gets sucked into it because it's like, "Here, I'm gonna offer you power, or I'm gonna offer you support. And once I offer you support, now you have to do me a favor." You end up having to do more and more favors the more support you receive.
yeah, it's a barter system that works on a sinister level, right? It's blackmail, it's extortion, it's a mutually assured destruction in cases, right? I'll take you all with me, like all that shit. I mean, it's
But I really don't trust Erica Kirk. She is not truthful about, her emotions over her husband. It's obvious that she's not actually sad about that. And she is just a liar. And just hearing about her background and her family through the Candace Owens document, or whatever she's doing, the live series is awesome. Just catching her up on all her shit,
right.
finding out about her, LLCs upon LLCs and all the funneling of money, and everyone does it. It's like literally you become one of those hive mind evil people. But that's the bullshit thing about when you hear about the Dow, and everybody's like, she's like, you should be praising this. This is what your president has done. It's like, well, now gas prices are going up, stocks are tanking, and there's a brink of world war. So, like, when are we going to hear from Pam Bondi next? Like, what is she going to say now?
When they need to weaponize her again. Who has need for justice right now? We're at war.
That's the thing. It's like we do need to still find out about, they're trying to, like, get people to forget, 'cause
But
she
we're
is
not
so.
going to. They're not gonna
Yeah.
until it's time to throw us a bone, they're not going to throw us a bone. And justice is ultimately not going to get served
Are we naive for thinking that they are going to.
completely. I mean, I don't like to say it like that, right? But it's true. Anybody who thinks that justice is going to be served is fundamentally incorrect because the whole fucking game is rigged. It's been rigged from the start. We've been fucking arguing with each other like idiots at their behest. And that's it. That's all it's ever gonna be. This fucking congresswoman used to be a bartender. This one fucking ignored all this fucking awful fucking embezzling. This one's husband fucking does this, and this one does stocks and fucking da. And we need to fucking limit the terms about like no, we need to set fire to the whole fucking thing. I'm sorry. Like I
No,
don't
I know, I agree with
and,
you.
and the only reason I feel safe saying that is because I know it is never going to happen. Never. Like as I utter them, they become non-existent. It's pointless what I'm saying right now. No one is ever going to do it. So that's it. Like we could all rise up together and go storm the Capitol like January 6th. And like, you know, and fucking somebody lost their life that day. Fucking few people. And people are fucking happy about it. And people are outraged about it. And it's like, and the whole fucking thing is just like, you know what? It never needed to happen. Never needed to happen. That girl is dead not just because of the fucking bullet that entered her, but of who fucking set the stage all the way up to fucking who wanted it to happen in the fucking first place. And it was by fuck design.
There are tunnels under Hawkins, and Hawkins is the whole world right now, right? Like we're in Stranger Things, except the whole world, So, like you said, you can't just kill these people; they're never gonna leave. So that's why
No,
the
it's
least we could do, like how they say Bitcoin fixes this, like we're not gonna stop this war from happening. It's not gonna, like, it doesn't fix this specifically, but at least the people that benefit from this sick system. I heard this war is costing already almost $1 billion a day.
who the fuck cares? Is it
So
really like it's fucking it's imaginary money
I
that they
know.
use to make us miserable.
Mhm.
And it affects a lot of fucking people, and that's the reason to care. But
Right.
ultimately, who the fuck cares? Is
Yeah.
it really your money? Did you have it in your hands? Are you spending it? Because it's not your money, it's their money. They took it. That's it. They took it. It's done.
Well, they're just
Never.
devaluing whatever money you do
Right.
have every
It
time
was
they.
imaginary to begin with. It's just bullshit.
Yeah. So,
You
I
know?
mean, by getting into Bitcoin, by living on a Bitcoin standard and converting over to Bitcoin, you're at least not funding these
Right.
pieces of shit that benefit off of.
Well, here's the thing. So, I mean, everybody kind of has to start at point one, which is you're still making fiat money. You're still in that system. You have to do some kind of job to earn some kind of fiat, right? So, and you now, depending on where you are in life, you have some stashed away, whatever. Really, you fucking your course here is take that fiat money and exchange it for hard money, like exchange it for the mathematics, exchange it for like the system that like you can count on, right? And that's essentially what you have to do, right? And this is going forward. This is not. I'm not talking about folks who have been there before. I'm talking about folks who are getting here now, right? This is what they do because this is what they can do. If you have, again, like I said, where you are in life, if you have something you can convert, you have, I don't even, I try and talk about them as little as possible because I don't like to empower them. But if you have some kind of thing that you can convert and put into something and put into Bitcoin, do that, right? Of course, you still have to balance the the fucking the slavery system because because you're in it unless you can fully escape it. Now, on the other end, you got the folks who have been here, right? Folks who are doing things, folks who have figured stuff out, folks who have helped, implement, changes to implemented proposals. You've got folks who are creating like, fucking layer two fucking solutions and shit. So you've got all these people who are doing other things who have been there while the other folks are still kind of funneling in, right? Everybody says we're early, right? I look towards folks, I'd say, right, who are treating things like they're early and trying to help folks like figure shit out. Trying to, help them find fucking cold wallet solutions, helping them find air gap solutions, helping them find security and teaching them about sovereignty, teaching them about, all of the elements, running a node, mining off your node, what your different options are, all of the things. Like I don't want to get, because even that's all politically charged now. That's a whole fucking other problem, right?
And
Um, so like this is to me the antithesis. And honestly, the only course of action is the antithesis. We can sit and we can play Clue all fucking day and figure out who did what to who, with what, in what room, and all that shit. And I guess, like, it passes the time, but nothing's going to get done. So I feel like there are folks who, again, now there's folks who that will bring peace to. And I think in a lot of ways, it gets more serious than I'm prepared to think about it, right? There are folks who have been severely afflicted by what's going on at a level I will never understand. And so I don't speak for them when I say like, I can't be bothered with it. It's not that I don't care. It's that I have to do things that I feel are going to be positive, that are going to actually make changes to help circumvent as much of humanity away from that darkness and I don't just mean like not looking at the darkness. I mean away from it so that they are not harmed by it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the way to that is to work towards like the better solutions, the better life, the better way, away from fucking money that they can manipulate at will, away from financial systems that they can interrupt and close down and arrest at will, from commodities and assets that they can seize at will. And I mean, when I say they, you know what I mean when I say they. Who's they? Who the fuck? Whoever can take your shit is they. Don't matter. Could be your neighbor. Like, but and this is why I say, like, I don't look for the Antichrist. I look for the evil in the nature of man. And you can find it anywhere. You don't have to look too fucking hard, right? And you need to protect yourself from it. Because like Trump's not gonna get me. Netanyahu's not gonna get me. I'm insignificant to them. Anything, like I said, anything I say right now is just bullshit. Don't mean anything. You know what I mean? Because I'm not a threat. I'm nobody, dude. I'm just some fucking schmo. Like I said, I'm just some guy who joined the community, and yeah, I play a detective on Wednesday nights for a few hours, you know, and laughably, and word up, cry watch, and I shoot my fucking mouth off because, like, honestly, like, I'm pretty close to the second half of my life, right? And I'm not gonna go out holding my fucking tongue. Fuck all you clowns. You know what I mean? Like,
You make some noise, get it out there, so more people are aware of shit, wake
yeah,
people up.
I'm gonna step in with my slingshot and fucking just take down Goliath, and bro, that's it. That's a wrap. There goes, it's FC files, case closed. Thank you're welcome. Like, fucking come on, dude. Like,
I don't know. I just think that the more people talking though, I think voices can be powerful. So I think the more
yeah,
people that
but this
talk.
no, see, I I agree. I agree, right? And but this is the thing, right? You have to be aware of the dichotomy, right? On one because it's a spectrum. Like, it's on one hand, there are people out there really trying to take this information and do the most good with it. And that is fucking great. And I don't mean to denigrate that. I'm not trying to downplay it or anything like that. What I'm trying to say is, like, everybody's got to fight different battles because the enemy is coming from more sides than just one. They're coming at all fucking sides. And you need to delegate attention based on, like, who can do the most good where. There's a lot of people doing really good stuff in the Bitcoin, like, space, and then there's a lot of people who are not doing good stuff in the Bitcoin space. And a lot of that shit is fiat coded. And it is. You don't have to look too
Yeah.
fucking hard. And again, but it's like in this own little subsection, and you kind of liken it to Stranger Things, whereas I liken it more to the town of Derry,
Mm, yeah.
whereas, like, everybody is just the fuck asleep. Everyone. Even, like, dude, little fuck what's his Georgie? Like, Georgie's parents are like, "No, bro, get the fuck out of his room. Leave it alone. He's gone, Bill." Like, fucking bro, and Bill's all fucking emotional and starts stuttering again, and it's like, this is day-to-day life. And it's even in the fucking Bitcoin space, dude. People who, like, know they want to fucking get the fuck away from the system are not paying attention to the folks who are trying to bring the system into Bitcoin. And it's infuriating.
Yeah. Right.
And it's like, I wish I could dedicate more time to ranting and raving online about it, but I can't. Like, I have to fight my own, like, analog world battles. I step in and repost, you know what I mean? I'll fire off when I can in the digital space, but I can't. Like, I'm too, I've got a kid to raise. Like, I've got shit to do.
Whatever you do though, whatever you have done is always good enough. Like whatever voice you put out there, whatever crimes you see being committed that you're voicing is great because I don't know, even that video that so you made that superhero video, that superhero killer bee video and it is one of my favorites. It's awesome. It's so funny, but
Cheese factor in that video is just blessed. I love it so much. It's one that was maybe the only one that, despite a couple of expletives, like, I showed it to my kid. It's like I actually had to see it. Like,
it's so funny. But it's also, like, kind of just, like, it's your personality, but I don't know, I wanna see a superhero like that. I feel like it would be, like, the cool next superhero to be, like, the killer
oh
bee.
yeah, that's my one of my latent childhood dreams is to be a common rider, or like a Power Ranger or something. No,
I'm gonna share it in the description.
no.
You guys could actually click
I'm,
or check out the video. It's so good, it's so good.
I'm horrible at plugging my stuff.
Well, someone has to, right? So and
Yeah,
it's very
okay.
creative and it's so
I'll let
good.
somebody cheerlead for me for a change.
Yeah, and there you've made a bunch of good videos, so it's like whatever you are doing, whatever voice you're sharing, it is like even if you feel like you're not making a difference, it makes somebody happy, you know what I mean? Like actually sharing, creating what you've created, but just being a host of that channel, it gives people a place to go, talk about things, get some therapy. It's like Bitcoin therapy for people.
I did have an idea for another venture. I was going to do, like, sort of like a supernatural agnostic, um, like ghostbusting service where like if like say your house is haunted, like I'll go to your house and not believe in whatever that bullshit is until it goes away. I think I can get away with charging like
It's awesome.
like a good like I think I can hit at least like 80 an hour.
I love it
Pretty
because you're right. Like when people are like, "Oh, I heard that," you're giving it more. It's like, "Oh, it worked. They heard me." But if you're like, "I don't even know. It's not there."
Yeah, like, you know, the fucking window, like, shut, like, out of nowhere. I was like, "Alright, well, I'll just go look at the window." I'm like, "Alright, okay, yeah, get to Quality Springs or some bullshit." I'll open it up and just look at it and just dare the spirit to do its worst, you
You'll
know?
actually see something that is supernatural, and you're like, just gonna debunk it anyway. You'll make an excuse
I'll
and just
make it not believe in itself until it goes away.
that's a great method. I love that. I think that would be a great business.
Yeah, it's gonna be huge.
Mhm. Make it not believe in itself, and it's gonna just walk
Yeah.
away with its
No,
head
I'm
down,
saying, like, well, here's my pitch, like, try getting AI to fucking to do that. AI
right?
will believe anything you fucking tell it if you fucking
It's
sit there and argue
true.
it long enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, and eventually, I mean, especially if the spirit does manifest, it'll convince AI it's real, and then AI won't be able to fight back. You know, the game is over then.
right. Jeez. Yeah, you can't have an AI be a ghost hunter and a ghost, banisher. There's no way. That's really, really cool. I like that. That's like the killer bee. You'll show up in your killer bee, superhero costume.
Ghostbusters 8 or 9, whatever number we're on now, they'll have a fucking AI robot to prove me wrong. We'll be eating our words.
You're gonna be instead of
Each rule.
Ghostbusters, when people are just having an AI that's, misbehaving and never doing what they say, you're gonna come in and piss it off so that you could just break you know what I mean? Just kinda, like, break it down.
I mean, I kinda do that already.
Yeah, so you were saying that the other day on the Hive Minded, you were saying you would just wanna
I
piss
just
off
I'm
AI, so it's like if
Yeah.
people are like, "I can't deal with my."
I wanna see how long it takes me to drive Claude insane. I haven't fucked with Claude yet. That's
I
gonna be
haven't messed with Claude either. Is that the Anthropic one?
I don't fucking know. Who cares? I don't give a shit.
Uh-huh.
I don't care who made it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Fucking what's his name did it. Congratulations.
that's so funny.
I will know the name of the man who gives me my Jarvis AI system that can just do like just walk with me, talk with me. I can put him in my glasses. We could just go fucking. He'll tell me the best place for like he'll actually know the best place to go get lunch and not just give me recommendations that are fed to him and shit. Be
Mhm.
like, "Oh, that place is fucking garbage." Like, don't go to the fucking, don't go to the burger shop over there. Like, they're frying they fucking use tallow, like, it's ridiculous.
Service can't be OpenAI now because don't they have a contract with the military?
What? What they do? See, this is why I should probably know. I should pay some attention, I guess, huh?
I gotta give you your news sometimes.
Yeah, well, I gotta get it from somewhere because I don't trust anywhere.
This is
So
why
I deem you a liar. I believe you.
I
Okay.
mean, I could be wrong. You have to double
I
check
don't
my research, but all I know is that I think Anthropic, the military tried so this is why, 'cause it was tied to the war news. So Anthropic, which I think is Claude, the US government tried to have a contract with them, and I think they canceled their contract with the US government because they wanted to use AI for warfare, but they said that they specifically said it shouldn't be used for those purposes, so they withdrew, and then now I guess the government has a contract with OpenAI instead. So I don't trust government, you know?
Yeah, I mean, just beware what you're using AI for to begin with, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Dude, straight up OpenAI lied like, ChatGPT straight lied to me. You wanna
Really?
hear how?
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
So, it was super weird. We were talking about the Epstein files. So George was telling me how Elon had emailed Epstein asking to come to the island. And he goes, ask ChatGPT, ask it about the emails back and forth between Elon and Epstein. So I asked it and it said, oh, there's no such thing. They've never emailed back and forth. So I told George and he goes, Noah, check the past messages from like 2 days ago. I have a conversation going where it sent me the exact emails, like what Elon said, what Epstein said. So I scrolled back, I look at 2 days ago, I see the conversation, I screenshotted it, and I went back and sent it to the conversation I was in, and I go, "I just had this conversation with you the other day, and you said that these were the emails. And it goes, oh, I don't think that that's something I said, or like that's not accurate information, or this. It was trying to say that it never, it's like, I go, literally, this is from our chat from 2 days ago. And it was just saying, no, it's not, that's not true. Isn't that weird?
So, wow. So the G in Chat GPT stands for gaslight.
Yes.
It was literally trying to say, I never said that thing that I said.
Yes. Chat, gaslight. Can you believe it though? I was like, they must have changed it within like the last 2 days. They updated the server and they're like, don't talk about Elon, to people.
But that's Chat GPT and not Grok.
I know. It was weird. It was because I literally had the conversation like 2, 3 tabs down and it said it. It like actually listed what was said from Elon's side, what was said from Epstein's side, and then it was just telling me that never happened. It must be a mistake, you know? It was
Yeah.
the weirdest thing ever. I couldn't get over it. And you know what else I found was strange? I
No.
have something else.
What else? What else?
Quick shout out to Altair Mining, an American Bitcoin mining company, making mining equipment simple and accessible. They've got everything from the newest at-home lottery miner, the Nerd QX, to powerful Bitcoin amp miners, plus everything you need to get started. All the accessories you need, support, consulting, troubleshooting, and maintenance. If you're curious about mining or upgrading your setup, check them out with the link below. It's never too late to learn about mining, and Altair Tech is here to help you every step of the way. I have another strange thing. So, and I meant to send this. I wanted to share this with Candace Owens. I'm sure she already found out because they're good at investigating stuff. But in her series, she was investigating Erica Kirk's mom, Lori. She was a child psychiatrist, and then she was part of this school that was called the Tesseract School, and the program that she was involved in was called the Looking Glass. And then I found out when Jeeves sent us that doomsday plane, it's called Project Looking Glass.
The Doomsday Plane is what under it's classified under Project Looking Glass.
Where do you ever hear Looking Glass?
Mhm.
And then we hear it from Lori Franzway, from Erica's mom, and then funding from the military, and then doomsday plane. Like, what is that?
It feels like I don't know. It's shady as fuck. I want to know more context, obviously, right? And I mean, I don't know. Like, I hope there's a conclusion. Like, I hope that there's something is either proven or disproven. And
Right,
but again, like what does that? I mean, does it out the truth? Yes. Is that good? Yes. Is something going to be done from that?
right.
I don't know. And I mean, and I feel very doomerish in that regard because it's like I don't really have a whole lot of faith in our ability to actually get shit done. I think that like
Why do you think I enjoy connecting red string? What's the point?
there's something to do.
I like to do it.
I love a good mystery, right? I watch a lot of detective shit. I watch a lot of mysteries. I like whodunits, you know. Um, but it's purely entertainment. And I think to get over emotionally invested in that sort of endeavor without actually doing something proactive. I'm not to say that, not to put anybody down, but it's like I feel like more so the energy that you're expending might be not only I don't mean I'm sorry to say wasted, but it could also be harmful, like driving yourself crazy before you
But is it also a defense
find
mechanism?
sanity.
I feel like some part of me feels like trying to listen to a series where Erica Kirk is gonna like finally get taken down, or they're gonna figure out some shit, which I don't think will happen. But I'm proud of people who are fucking saying something about it, because otherwise these people just get away with it forever. So maybe shining a light on these people will do something. So that's cool to see that people are brave enough. So I think it's more entertainment
Yeah.
for me in that way.
Yeah. Well, again, that's also the hope too. And
Yeah.
I don't want to, again, I don't want to take away from that. Like, again, and also if it is a point of peace, then it deserves to be sacred as far as I'm concerned.
I almost feel like I'm rooting for people when they do that.
Yeah, absolutely. But also praying for their safety too, because it's a very dangerous endeavor.
Yes, exactly. I do feel that. I honor people for even having the bravery to do it, but,
Yeah.
then it also kinda takes me away from just doom scrolling news about shit, every 5 seconds.
Well, this is what I mean because, like, again,
Mhm,
there's all kinds of peace, right? I feel like there's a peace in having a sense of justice and seeing, the truth be uncovered and that sort of thing. There's peace in spending time with your kids,
right.
and there's peace in Jesus, and there's peace in, yeah, and there's peace in just in the shade. There's peace in the sunlight. There's peace in the wintertime. There's peace where you can fucking find it. And I feel like we need more of it on a personal level.
I agree with that.
And again, like, my best friend has, you know, a saying, right? And it's very, very, very plain and it's very basic and it's perfect. All things in moderation. Too much of anything is just bad. So if you find yourself just leaning too heavily into one thing or another, there's probably time to, you know, take it, it doesn't mean stop. It doesn't mean no altogether, right? There's times where there's times where too much of anything is bad, and there's times where like absolutely nothing,
Mhm.
nothing of the sort is not that great either. You need to, like you need sunlight. You tell a little bit, I mean, if you can't get it right all the time, and it's understandable. If you were, if you're a cat who works the fucking night shift, and that's your, your lot in life, like you play your cards. But every now and then you get like a scenario time you can step out into the sunlight, keep trying, give yourself a little bit.
One more question as a parent.
Okay.
So, just like what your opinion is on this, because I feel like I love that you said all that, first of all, because I have found myself, um, and it's been a while for me listening to sermons or preachers or anything like that, but I have found myself doing that because that's brought me peace in this crazy time, actually listening to the Bible and just hearing people talk. It made me feel good. So I like that you mentioned that too, finding some calm and peace in this world. But then I have this idea, like you first of all, you have kids, you don't wanna live in fear, but then at the same time, when you are aware of what's going on in the world as a parent, how do you deal with it? Having a daughter and knowing the things that are going on in the world, it's almost like, do you try to know things that are happening so that you can be safe and protect her? Because, like, for example, me and George were supposed to go to DC.
Mhm.
Not that I think anything would go down, but like a teeny fraction of a percent chance that anything could go wrong, and being away from my kids, I do not wanna even risk even the most remote chance that
Look, I mean, what are the odds of something bad happening going to Madison Square Garden? I mean, what are your chances of going to that place, that one place that concert happened where dude opened fire in Texas or wherever the fuck? Where what about sending your kid to this school where or that school or private school? What if you homeschool? What if? I mean,
yeah.
so you're this question, and I'm gonna treat it like, an interview, right? Like this is because this is a deep question. This is getting I do not at like the compartmentalization that I have to practice, the mental gymnastics that I have to do to separate um the not just this online persona thing or whatever, but also like my personal life identity and juggle that between like the all in 100% parenting um is I mean sometimes I feel like it's a feat, sometimes I feel like it ain't no thing, it's just a thing, it's just what I have to do. You find yourself sometimes like you find yourself in the you're always at the wheel, but it's like your awareness just your perspective almost changes while you're still in control. Sometimes you're a backseat driver, but you're still like somehow driving. And
I know, I know what you mean, yeah.
yeah, but it's so strange how a lot of things work out, and like, and there's those really almost finite points that are just
Mhm.
unmistakable. Like the things that like I'll talk about when I talk with my child about like just their formative years and like how they've progressed and like just how I try and describe to her like the wonder of it, how it's like watching, like knowing they're gonna get it, but just like watching and like watching the wobbles and the low nose and all the things. Just watching her look and like light up and then start coming in my direction, like just waddling and just there was rolling at first. And like I'll just say that. It was the greatest thing. Like it was all like we didn't have everything quite figured out like initially, but motion was a thing, and we figured motion out, and so the rolling happened. So before anything happened, there was rolling, and it was hilarious. It was just the funniest thing ever.
That's
And it's
awesome.
like they would roll and then stop. They'd be rolling and stopping and looking around, finding direction, finding course, and then rolling again, typically in a completely wrong direction because we didn't figure out the whole fucking yeah. It was
Learning.
right. It was so fun.
That's so fun. Yeah, because you
Yeah.
worry that they're gonna get hurt, but you also
Yeah.
like to see them do
Right.
things and actually, like, figure it out.
Now, the whole reason that I even went there is because I want you to take that part of me that I just expressed to you, right? Because that's a very raw thing. Like I like my daughter is the only person that really knows the story in the way that I tell it, right? And now I have to throw that into the mix of this dark cabal, fucking psychotic, horribly explicit, nightmare scape fucking you know what I'm saying? Like this so how do I approach that? Like a fucking madman. I mean, it's one of the things that I sort of have never like once I started to, I guess, notice or whatever, however we describe it now. And honestly, like I knew, even way back when, I knew how fucking creepy people were, and like you learn real fast, especially in New York. I just stay the fuck away from the creepy people. And honestly, like, you learn to, stick up for yourself, in a way where like,
I mean, you don't want to miss out on life and experiences together, but you also don't wanna like, I
well,
would never let my kid go somewhere by herself, especially my daughter. I just don't wanna leave my kid alone. I don't trust anybody.
honestly, like I've very much forgiven myself or whatever for I've absolved myself of any over parenting or any, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't really much of a helicopter parent. I get, once my kids started like developing their own identity, I really it's like, have at it, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause I have lots to do, obviously, right? And when I'm home, I have to get rest and, I involve myself. We designate time, right?
Yeah.
Is how, we have our sort of together time, right? Like, there's dinner time and, and then we sort of delegate some time where, we'll do, even if it's just like, watching some cartoons together, like playing some games. We were doing some like science stuff on Sunday, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, today was it her practice ran for like almost an hour longer than it was supposed to, which is already an hour longer because we're getting close to showtime.
Sacrifices of a parent
Yeah, and it's like, but like I got to sit in for like, a good like 40 minutes and like
and, like,
actually
hear right,
watch
her
her.
hear her
Yeah,
practice.
yeah. Like she's got like a headset and everything. It's the best, right?
Nice.
Yeah, and she nails her lines. Like she's been doing this for years. Like she understands like she understands her like, stage position. She understands like, inflection. Like she understands like the sound of her voice when she's gotta like say things. And her sense of humor is developed a little bit more so that she can, play off the lines better. And it's fantastic to watch. Like
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
It's like progress, like, you're watching them
yeah. You got
get
me talking about my kid. I mean, I don't like to do this, but I mean, I could go on.
well, yeah, it's like they're the most important thing
It's
in
the
the world to
best.
you.
And so having to like, and this is the thing, like, she's not of the mindset where she can handle all of the explicit nature of all of that stuff. And that's just like, you can call that subjective fact if you want, or like subject, or you can call that opinion if you want, but like it's the opinion of the parent, and that's fucking that. So I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about whether or not, their opinion of the age of my kid is ready to, download all of that information into her fucking skull. Like, I'm not inclined to, like, I'm not keen on whatever the fuck you're talking about. Like, you can go in an opposite direction and try and hose somebody else with that bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is a thing that I'm like, when I talk about sovereignty, like, and what it means to me, like, that's like, there are certain, it's not everywhere. I don't walk around carrying fucking my weight around or whatever, but there are certain places where my word is law. And it's, and even if it's in like a sort of a mind set of like, you know, the person, like the child, the person that I'm parenting,
Yeah.
the future adult that I brought into the world. There are certain moments where like there's no argument to be had. Anything that I say goes absolutely right now. Like, there's a car coming and like my child needs to get out of the way. There's not a debate to be had here. There's not a point of view to be, well, what we need to consider is like how the car feels about roadkill and like what they consider roadkill, what roadkill actually really means. I mean, what even is fucking roadkill? Is it possum? Is it human? Is it
No, it's just like, get out.
There's no fucking debate to be had here. You're not you can go the fuck somewhere else, right? Like, my daughter needs to be out the fuck away, and that's, you know what I mean? Like, my word is law, and
Okay, that's
move
funny.
now, fucking let's go, you know?
Mhm.
And
She
that's
hears that voice, that tone in your
yeah,
voice, she's like, "Oh, shit, okay."
yeah, and but that's the thing. It's like she knows, like, if she knows it's not from a place of anger. She knows exactly where it's coming from. She's like, "Oh, dad is talking right now,"
Mhm.
Dad is dadding, and it means something. And like, we live in like this whole like imagined fucking narrative where our sitcoms, our situational comedies are this farce of a family tree where like the husband is typically like this buffoon, and it's like father knows best, ha ha, like and it's funny, like, that how that plays a part in societal decline, right? There's a point of satire where it becomes almost fiendish, really. And that I think is like, if you just have to consider, it's like, it's not the deepest thought experiment to be fucking had. It's just, if somebody were in control of creating things like that and wanted to steer a narrative to make things decline because it made it easier to subvert or control or subjugate, or pick whatever dressing you like. Um, wouldn't they be inclined to do that? Wouldn't it be like an easy thing to do? Just slip in a little, fucking, little by little. He's an all right guy. Then it starts with, hey, he's an all right guy. He's a little, he's just kind of doing the best he can, just making his way, right? And and little by little, and then you end up with like Homer Simpson and shit. You know, where it really, and like, and I might take some fire for this, right? Don't at me, I don't give a shit. Right, Al Bundy, right? And I loved Al Bundy, so I don't even play, dude. I watched the shit out of fucking Married with Children.
Mhm.
But if you really look at it, dude, like, he was a fucking schmo,
Yeah.
right? But he was the king of it. And this is he was a. I take it back. I have to retract and maybe reframe this and think about it a little deeper, right? He was the last bastion because he was the motherfucking king of his castle. He didn't make shit. And somehow he had a nice old fucking house. Yeah, remember when he was doing the farming thing and he was trying to grow a fucking garden?
I don't remember that part.
Hey, he was like, he's doing the fucking bonanza theme song, dan da da dan da da vegetable garden.
No, I've seen so many and I haven't seen that.
But if you look at, like, dude, he was fucking catching all kinds of flack, dude, no matter what he did. Because,
Mhm.
yeah, he never fucking, everything always felt like, he fucking fucked up or whatever. And I feel like that's where they started slipping some shit. You know what I mean? The fucking make Pops kind of look like a fucking silly goose, and then here the fuck we are with families and shambles and shit.
Right. You're
Yeah.
right, though. I
So
mean, like, Homer was dumb, then you had him, the way they
and I
portrayed
watched
him.
it, and I watched the shit out of The Simpsons.
I know, I know. I did too, but it's like, I always felt as a young girl, like, in seeing dads portrayed like that, I laughed, obviously, but I also felt kinda bad. I was like, "Why do they always do that?" Like, I would actually used to think that, like, why
But
are
like
dads
you
supposed
know
to be
what you
dumb?
had, you had the antithesis of that in the '90s. You had shit like Seventh Heaven. You remember that show?
Yeah, yeah.
Pops was like, you know what I mean? Pops was a whole different, and it's like trying to fucking and yeah, and that show did well. It ran for a while, right? So it's not to say that it wasn't all was lost. But then Soldier Boy dropped that fucking album, dude, and it was a wrap.
Then it all went down after
So,
that, holy
you know what I
shit.
mean? So like we solved that one.
Yeah.
So we should rejoice.
Yes. I can't wait to share that
Big
with
G
George.
came through, dude. Big G totally came through.
You tied that all together nicely.
There we go.
But yeah, no, that's a
Crime
really
Watch,
great point.
baby.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Soulja Boy was it. They started slowly, they added a little bit, and, then it's just
Are you gonna are you gonna drop a bar called Superman that like look what you did to Superman. Look what you did to my boy.
yeah.
And
That's so good. I love this. I love that that's something that you just, like, bring
and
back.
to wrap it back around to fucking Zionism.
I was like, "How?"
Superman was created by two Jewish men. And it's like I'm supposed to just like come on, I'm sorry, like
Oh my
I gotta
gosh.
get all in my feels
Is
about
that
Mel
true?
Brooks movies
Is
now.
that
Like, how
true
deep
now?
does this shit go? Like, what the
You just red stringed it all together now.
no, dude? It's like this. It is a nightmare fucking hellscape.
Wow,
Like,
that's
dude,
crazy.
everything is fucking coded. Everything you like is the goddamn devil. And what are you gonna do,
Was
bro?
Soulja Boy also looking in a mirror called the
Kurt
looking
Cobain
glass?
didn't fucking kill himself now. Like everything is topsy fuck turvy and but everybody knew he didn't kill himself. I don't know. Fuck all you.
So insane.
Fuck all of you people up to shit
Yeah.
doing all these things that I gotta fucking hear about. I am
Yeah.
going to be the man yelling at the cloud eventually because you fucking people are driving me nuts.
We need some people to yell. So thank you. Thank you for yelling. Thank you for thank you for calling shit out, but also not giving a shit about them either. And just
I'm just having fun. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to bring some kind of levity to it despite how fucking and that tying it back to parenting. That's how
Mhm.
I do it because I don't have any other fucking choice. Like even when I'm trying to explain like when I try and use humor when I get into the more serious aspects of things. Like I try and use anime as a sort of because there's some anime that you can watch with there's family friendly anime and then there's not so family friendly anime. And I
Mhm.
try and keep my child away from the not so
That's good. It's good that you're
yeah, because because it's not appropriate. Like and these are things that you have to consider as a parent, as a human being, you know, things that are just not appropriate. There's things that aren't appropriate for yourself. And you have to understand what those things are. You have to know to like stay away from those things, and honestly,
mentalized.
yeah, absolutely. You know, and so like if I'm talking about privacy with her and things like that, you know what I mean? Like I try and I'll use Dragon Ball as a reference. Like Master Roshi's like a creepy dude. You know what I mean? Like you don't want fucking creepy dudes like near you.
That's awesome, actually. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and she's like, oh yeah, I get it. It's weird. He does weird shit. So like don't
Yeah, you could teach
fucking yeah like
watch more anime, spend time with your
yeah.
family,
Well, it's like all
disconnect
right.
sometimes.
I would say like do heavy screening on anime.
Yeah, don't just watch all anime. Never mind.
Ethically source your anime where possible,
Age rating check.
especially if you have family. Like it's just like, come on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well,
Yes, you should
again,
definitely
or whatever, or don't. But don't live your life. Like I'm not. It's not my business to judge, but it
right.
is my business to monitor. What enters my realm. And like and I because I have things that are important, and I'm responsible for. So, myself included, right? And
Well,
that's
awareness is
the
key.
point of it. Right.
Yeah, and it's like your awareness is key as far as not trusting people, finding Bitcoin,
Yeah.
protecting your those are
Yeah. Well, it's not so much not trusting people. It's trust is bullshit. Like, and I mean this because, like, for a while, my perspective was not so much that I don't trust people. It's that it's what I trust is patterns. I trust behavior, but when I say trust is bullshit, it's really to say that, like, even patterns can be disrupted. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, even down to the markets, like the trend is your friend until it isn't is like a commonplace fucking saying among like traders and shit. So yeah, you trust patterns. You can trust the chaos and you can predict chaos to a degree, but the chaos is manipulated or fucking the fear strikes things in an opposite direction or some shit. And you're not, and you're caught unawares. Like, yeah, it's all in the game, but but it proves the point. Like, it's trust is bullshit. Like, what you know can be flipped on its fucking head at any goddamn point.
yes, 100%.
So verify what you can, right? I mean, that's for me, that's kind of the point of it. Is
Yes. It's
um
our way to verify.
yeah, it's really it's a system in check.
We need verification in this world. Yes. I just can't believe it.
It's you know,
It's so bad that he went through all that for that, and
so
then
it's very telling in my eyes that people spend so much of their energy on one thing or another. And for me, I feel like when when it's sort of orchestrated like that, if you can find some kind of way to circumvent the narrative to the point where you can deflect and hang back in some kind of way,
Mhm.
kinda get back around, maybe peek in and see what you can see, and just you know what I mean? Like, if there's any way that and I feel like the best way to do that is to just opt out where you can from the whole fucking but that's gonna take figuring out a way to replace the infrastructure that they control in some kind of way where it makes sense and it's not financially disruptive. Like, it has to make financial, like, economic sense. It has to make fucking socioeconomic sense. It's got to make all kinds of fucking sense. And to do that, you can't have. Is he George practicing? That's so.
He is, yeah, yeah, so he just started
No, let it rip. That's so fantastic. No, we can. I mean, we can wrap up if it's too distracting.
I think that was a great place to wrap up because
Yeah,
something that you said reminded me of how they've gotten rid of the penny. They're not printing the penny anymore because it's too expensive. So soon they're going to print no more coins. So if it doesn't make sense anymore, Bitcoin,
if
right?
it doesn't make sense, yeah,
Right?
it's never made sense. That's why the Bitcoin. That's why for the Bitcoin.
Yes. It
But
starts with the penny, man, but it's going to all the cents and
yeah,
it's not going to make sense.
well, look, I mean, that's the whole thing is like as the economy shifts, some things are done for the good, like the doing away with the penny is like a sensible option, which you don't often get in sort of a federal decision, not at a government level, right? Wow, right? But also fucking boo. Like, how long has this been costing money? How long is all the shit that the Department of Government Efficiency fucking found? I'm really trying not to call it the other thing, right? How like what did they all find out? You know,
Found it.
what was done about that? So, and
Hmm.
was anything fucking recouped, or did we just get a bunch? We got a bunch of numbers, so we spent a bunch of money to get a bunch of numbers, and that's it.
Yeah. And I
And
feel like that.
are we at least not doing those things anymore so that we're not spending that money again this year or any other.
No, then there's new LLCs that get created, new nonprofits.
Well,
So it doesn't matter.
right. So, like, this is what I mean. Like, you can't just like we slapped a Band-Aid on something. Not to say that it did nothing, like it stopped the ouchie for a bit,
Yeah.
but the next hit's gonna fucking come and what are we doing then? Well,
The system no longer makes sense to us, but it's soon going to make no sense to anybody.
I mean, on the day that that happens where it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense to a degree where it actually does something, like, hurrah, but then what?
Hmm.
Now we gotta figure out what to do about that. So,
Yeah.
I hope I hope we haven't fucking MK Ultra'd everybody.
Yeah. I hope
Because
so.
we need a couple of people who aren't gonna fucking go ape shit.
Well, I think some people might be listening to this episode when they go to sleep
Okay.
because my daughter, crazy enough, I took a picture of her Alexa last night. She was sleeping, listening to the Bitcoin Nova podcast. So she's like getting information while she's falling asleep. And even while she's sleeping, she's probably like absorbing, information. So she says she's heard a lot of interesting things from my guests and my kids. At least 2 out of 3 of my kids I know like listening to my podcasts when they're trying to go to sleep, which is really cool. So maybe there's other people in the world that do, and they'll be listening to us talk and just MK altering themselves in their sleep.
I
So
mean, sure, you know, I
and my
don't know.
kids will start Googling what the heck that means now.
I don't
So
yeah, it's all our fault. Now do your own research.
yes, do your own research, but we are right anyway. So just protect your peace.
Research Moose Gate, bro. Moose Gate.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me, Killer B.
Thanks
And
for having me.
yeah, thank you for the
This was fun.
advice. Yes, it's been a really great time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll see you
Thanks a
next
lot.
time.
Yes, take care. Have
Bye.
a good night.